I'm going to call the member for Goldstein.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and it's a great privilege to be able to stand and speak on this important piece of legislation, because at the heart of it, Deputy Speaker, at the heart of it, I'm waking you up from your deep slumber of the boredom that comes from listening to the member for McMahon, the deep boredom that comes from regurgitating the whole tired, pathetic talking points that give no weight or substance to the nature of the Commonwealth. I'm helping you, not hindering you. It's a great privilege to be able to get up and speak on this bill, Deputy Speaker, because when we think about who pays tax in this country, what we think about is the millions of Australians who wake up every day. They get themselves out of bed, they brush their teeth, feed themselves breakfast to them and their families, and they go off work and may make a stick of it. And what this bill is turning around to those millions of Australians and saying, we back you. We are going to support you. You are the foundation of our country. You are the foundation of its success. And if you're prepared to have a go, we're prepared to back you every step of the way. And we know there are millions of SMEs across the country, 7 million people who work for them across this great nation. 668,000 in Victoria, millions of workers for companies of less than 5 million people. In the wonderful electorate of the Goldstein, there are 22,117 SMEs, people who, through initiative, endeavour and entrepreneurial spirit, come together to provide the opportunities for them and their families, but also their fellow Australians. And what this bill does, because of the consequences of strong economic management by this government, by this Prime Minister, both as Prime Minister and as Treasurer, by managing the books carefully, by making sure we get people off welfare and into work, to be from tax consumers to tax contributors, we have been able to turn around the budget circumstance that we inherited from our political opponents, not just to slow the rate of growth debt, though we've been able to do that, not to get ourselves close, very close and within earshot of surplus for the first time in a decade, but that has given us the policy flexibility to turn around to Australia and say, we get it. You've been doing it tough for many years, repaying the debt and deficit legacy of our political opponents. And now is the time we turn around to you and say, we want to support you to realise your full ambition, your full capacity to be able to take Australia to its next wave of growth. And that's why we're bringing the tax rate down for small and medium businesses to 25%, because only people pay taxes, Deputy Speaker. You can talk about companies, you can talk about international corporations or multinational corporations, you can talk about any other type of legal structure you want, but in the end, there are only people who inhabit this country, and they're the ones who pay taxes. Now, 25% is a great start. I've made no ambiguity throughout my political career. I'd like it to see go further. Not just because there's international competitive reasons, though there are. I'd like to see it go much lower, because in the end that would be good for stimulating our economy and growth. But this is a fantastic start, Deputy Speaker, and more critically that we're able to bring it so far forward, so people can have the opportunity to back themselves and take that extra cash and put it straight into employing more people, buying more equipment and backing themselves. Of course, this is across a backdrop of many measures that this government has taken, where we have backed those who want to have a go. We, of course, have the $20,000 instant asset write-off, something that's used across the board throughout the Goldstein electorate and the nation, where people have been able to bring spending forward and invest in growing their business, their enterprise and their opportunity. Now, of course, we see this in the Goldstein electorate every day. At a simple retail business like Sport Conscious in Church Street in Brighton, Andy has 10 employees. Andy Stewart-Maneath. The impact of this tax relief, he said, for small business creates a feeling that the government actually cares about us, that incentives in investment and confidence matter, that in retail small business We feel the key to success for us is providing good, honest service, and by incentivising our bottom line, we're able to invest more in our employees to reach this goal to serve Australians. That the endowment effect in one of small businesses is measurable, and all of us tend to reinvest in our businesses as a way of increasing their long-term value, but of course so they can go on and employ more people. This initiative is welcome from someone who feels that small business is the heartbeat of everything that makes Australia a wonderful country. Andy, good on you. You're part of making this great nation. You're part of employing the people who can then go on to support themselves and their families. Andy, you're part of the future and continuing story of this great nation. To the Owl and Baker in Bentley, in Centre Road, Bentley, Nathan and Andrea, they have 8 employees, and Andrea said a tax cut means that she can employ an extra full-time employee, which can provide much-needed stability for other employees who work casually, placing less of a burden. Good on you, Andrea. Good on you, Nathan. That means that you're, again, not just backing yourselves, but you're backing all those other people who want to have a go. And it means that more people are off the welfare and more people are contributing to the system and carrying the cost of our society. Then, of course, we've got Gatto in Hampton Street, Hampton, and Mark Prasad, who has approximately 10 staff. And Mark's the chef and owner. Luana, or Lulu, is also an owner and manager. There's Dylan, Kevin, Sam, Fiona, Kayla, Ashleigh, Sylvian, Sanjay and Kathleen. This bill backs all of them too, because they're able to get on with the job in Gatto of producing the coffees, the cakes, to meet the needs of the good people of Hampton. And so what we have in this bill is a measure that's in our best interests of this country. Its capacity to be able to contribute so everybody can make their fair contribution. So I say to the Parliament, I'm supporting this bill because it's in our best interests as a nation. And that's why everybody else should support it too.
I thank the member.